Hello everyone, this is Nicole from Altenew. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to layer the images from the Snapdragon Build a Flower stem set. This was released in May 2019 and it's a part of a Build a Flower set you can purchase individually or as a subscription at a discounted price. Make sure to refer to a layering guide when you're stamping alone and refer to the tips that I'm going to share in this video. Hopefully this tips I'm going to share with you will be helpful and make it easier for you to layer the images up. The layering guide also has the inks, color suggested, and also the QR code that you can scan and see the projects. Let's start with the biggest flower from the set. This is more like tall and slender set of the two. And I am stamping the solid layer of the flower portion in a pink diamond layer. And for the second one, I am just lining that up right on top of the solid image with Pinkalicious. For the third image, we're going to stamp it with Raspberry, and that is going to go right on top of the first and the second layer. These three steps are very simple and straightforward. And now we are going to work on the stem and the leaves part, and it comes in two different parts. So we're going to look at the top portion of it and then the bottom portion of it. For the top portion, which has two layers, we're going to look at the white space that are empty, that kind of very obvious, you can see. So we're going to focus on that, and also a portion of the stem and the leaves go right above the top flower petal. So you can see that it overlaps nicely, creating a little fill-in between those white spaces. So we stamp the solid one with Forest Glaze and then the second outline one with Evergreen. And there are two layers for this part. Now let's go ahead and look at the bottom layer. The bottom layer, we're going to ink up the solid with Forest Glaze, but look at the area that I just pointed. That is where the stem portion will go. So there's a little part where petal points down. So we're going to line the stem over there. On the top, there are some really small white spaces that will overlap with the flower, and that's where you will add those three tiny portion of the center part of the stalk. We stamped the solid image for these portions in Forest Glaze, and I am adding outline in Evergreen. The middle part is a little hard to tell, but it is completely okay for you to overlap a little bit. That just adds more realistic perspective to the flower stalk. Let's move on to the second flower. There's two flowers in this set of those Snapdragon flower stalks, I should say. There's two stalks, and we are going to look at the second one now. Stamp the solid image with Pink Diamond once again. We're going to focus on the outline image to go right on top of the solid area that we just stamped using the Pinkalicious and also Raspberry. The first 1, 2, 3 step of these flowers are very simple. So we're going to go ahead and stamp the third one using Raspberry. You can see that that's more obvious and more standing out. The stem part also has two parts on this one. I'm going to look at the center portion where there's obvious white spacing, and also just like the first image, the leaf portion will go over the top portion of the flower petal. So there are some leaves that will stick out to the top point. So keep that in mind when stamping it. So I stamped the solid image using the Forest Glaze. I'm also using the same ink color for the bottom stem, the solid portion. And now we will go in to the first stamped image using the Evergreen for the outlines. So to make sure you line that nicely up using the white spaces and the solid stamp line to put the outlines on the top and the bottom portion. The leaves also go on the bottom. I am stamping it with Evergreen. Just line that up nicely so that the bottom portion of each leaves go straight onto the stem. And that's how you stamp the Snapdragon stamp set layer images. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let us know by emailing us at support@altenew.com. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.